Yo, what's going on, y'all? Um, so I wanted to show y'all something when dealing with one shots and how to make your one shots sound authentic, like a real hardware. And this is gonna be part of my series of making VSTs or one shots or samples sound more authentic to the true hardware. So what we have is some one shots over here from different hardware. Since these are actual real hardware units, and we're going to go over some of this stuff and I'm going to show you how to make it authentic. So we're going to take this pluck since it's more dry, right? So we're going to bring this pluck over. We're going to we'll just put some chords in here real quick. It's been a while since I used FL Studio, so y'all gonna have to forgive me a little bit. What am I looking for? Yay. All right, let's do what? A major harmonic. Looking for minor. Okay, minor harmonic. Let's do G, right? So let's put some chords in here. Let's just put like some quick chords in here just to make this sound a little bit better, a little bit different. I mean. All right, so we got our chords, right? All right, so you can hear the noise in this sample from the hardware unit. But with making hardware synth samples, one shots, let's do this too. Let's turn everything down. Nice to sustain. Well, let's do all the way sustain. Let's control our release. There we go. Okay, so the only thing you need to make these hardware units sound super authentic to like an old school style or 80s style is saturation, reverb, coarse, delay, right? So we're going to use tape mellows and we're going to just try to trick this out. So pull the flutter and the mechanics and a while down. Let's pull everything down so we can figure out what we want. Start with tone. We don't need any noise. We don't need any noise because it already has noise on the one shot, so you don't need any noise for that. But we can go flutter, a little bit of wow, maybe a little bit of wear, and let's do just like that, just to let a little bit more noise in. Do stereo width. See, now it's already starting to sound good with just that, with this one shot. So the next step will be reverb. So we're using the Relapse Development Lexicon 480, right? Now for this, we can do plate. Well, let's just load a preset. Let's do plate. Let's do dark plate. Now let's do chorus. So we'll just, for the sake of time, we'll just go through chorus and do modulations. We can do stereo trills. There we go. And the last will be a delay. We can. I already have this set, by the way. We could pull some of that back. So I'm pulling back some of the chorus, and the delay. So you went from, let me see. Actually, let's replace this too. Let's do basic fruity verb 2. Where is it at? We'll set this to large hall. All right. So the point, as you can hear, so you can get a one shot just from simple things like this. You can use any plugin you want. It doesn't have to be mine. I just happen to like the Arterial sound with a lot of their plugins because it sounds like the real thing, even from some of the more modern day hardware and the older hardware that I've tested and played around with. It just sounds more realistic to me, the Arterial. But there's plenty of plugins that can do the same thing. So all you need is a saturation. And in this saturation, I did use stereo width. So remember to always play with your stereo field. You just need reverb, chorus, and delay. And this will literally help you make a one-shot analog, or any one shot, whatever you trying to use, synth, whatever. If you want it to sound more authentic when you're making samples or beats or whatever it is, this is all you need. Once again, you go from this nice. You can hear that it's a good sample, a good one shot. You hear some of the noise in the background, but then and it really changes the entire vibe. So just remember that. This is just a quick tutorial. The next video I do, I'm going to show you how to do the same thing with hardware compressors for stereo bus, because I think there is a difference between plugins and hardware compressors, but you can still create the same effect that hardware compressors give you with plug-in compressors on the stereo bus. And I'll show you guys how to do that next, because it's actually really interesting. It's a small difference that they have between each other that the plugin don't create, but you can still get the same effect by just processing it a little more with another plugin. So all right guys, that's all the time I have for this video.